So hello guys, welcome back. I hope you all are doing well. So myself Parvati Prasad will start the session. See acids, bases and salts. So when we say acids, bases and salts, so we have already completed this chapter. That is the theory part of it is completed. We have also summarized the whole chapter, and now we are doing question answers, right? And that too long answer, short answer, all that. Okay, and after this we'll be doing the MCQs. Okay, so question answers we are doing now. So for this question answer we have completed already 10 questions. So let's begin today with the further 5 questions of the day. Okay, so let's start the question. So the very first question of the section is: state the number of water molecules present in crystals of washing soda and plaster of Paris. What are these water molecules called as? I think this question or this type of question we have already discussed in the earlier session. Um, Basically, for this type of question, you just need to remember the formulas. If you remember the formulas, you will be able to write the answer. So you'll be writing answer as the first one is washing soda. So first write the chemical formula of washing soda. ठीक है? Washing soda. ठीक है? This is the formula for the washing soda. ठीक है? Then when we talk about plaster of Paris, it is CaSO4 dot 5. Oh, sorry, not 5. It is half H2O. So this is your plaster of Paris. ठीक है? ठीक है? So basically these are the formulas of your acid soda and plaster of Paris. So when we say it is dot 10 H2O given or written in the chemical formula of the plaster washing soda, that means it contains how many water molecules? It contains 10 water molecules. In the same way, when we say plaster of Paris, that plaster of Paris is nothing but half H2O. ठीक है? So it simply indicates कि there is one H2O in every two molecules of your uh, CaSO4, right? So what we'll write? Do not write this. Okay? In your answer, give this, and write there are 10 molecules. There are 10 molecules of water of water in washing soda and and half molecule of water in plaster of Paris. Okay? And the second part of the question is water molecules, what are they called as? Okay? These water molecules are called as water of crystallization. Okay? These are called as water of crystallization. Okay? So, you'll write these are known as water of crystallization. Clear? I hope this is clear to you, this question, right? Moving to the next question. Okay? So, the question number 2 of the day is two solutions A and B have pH 3 and 5 respectively. Which of the two solutions has more hydrogen ions concentration and which one is more acidic? Give reason. So as I told you that if you go through the pH scale, you'll find it starts from 0 till 14. Okay? So it is from 0 to 14, right? So when we say 0 to 14, so from 0 to 7 it is acidic pH. Whereas from your 7 to 14 is basic pH. So you can say less than 7 ka pH is acidic, more than 7 ka pH is basic. Clear? So write it here. I have already done this, right? Neutral. This is your acidic and this is your basic. So more you go to left, the solution becomes more acidic. So when you say ki, there is a pH of 3, so I'll just make you a simple understanding. That is whenever you say pH of 3 and pH of 5, so you'll find out of these two this is more acidic, okay, as compared to the second one. That is, this is for A, right, and this is for B. So it will be more acidic than B. Clear? Okay, why it is so? Because at this pH, the hydrogen ion concentration is high. Okay? So you just need to remember this thing. So if you see the question itself says कि higher the concentration of, once you know कि ये वाला hydrogen ion का जो concentration है is more in the solution with pH 3, then you will be able to answer the give reason part of the question also, that कि since there is more hydrogen ion concentration, that is why the solution A is more acidic. Clear? So I hope this is clear to you. So let's move to the next question. So the next question says, explain why an aqueous solution of sodium sulfate is neutral while an aqueous solution of sodium carbonate is basic. So here also let's take up some very common understanding which I have already told you about. What it is, that is sodium sulfate, that is Na2SO4. Okay? And suppose we take Na2CO3. Okay? So to this what you need to do is कि पहले ये समझो कि ये बने किन एसिड और बेस से है. So to understand that you just need to dissolve it in water. ठीक है? When you dissolve it in water, it gets ionized to NaOH and H2SO4. ठीक है? So when you say that NaOH and H2SO4 are formed out of Na2SO4 when it is dissolved in H2, it directly says कि this is the strong base and this is your strong acid. Now let's see what about this one. Na2CO3, when it gets dissolved with water, it gives you NaOH plus H2CO3, and you'll find that this is a strong base, but H2CO3 is a weak acid. Clear? So since here both are strong, the pH of this solution, or you can say this solution, will be neutral, whereas in this case NaOH is strong base, so that means the solution is definitely going to be basic. So you can directly write it is made up of strong base and weak acid, hence the nature of the solution is basic, whereas in this case you can write that this is made up of strong base and strong acid. That is why the solution is neutral in nature. That's it, right? So this was the question number 3. I hope you are able to understand it. Now let's move to question number 4. Question number 4 says name the gas which is usually produced when dilute sulfuric acid reacts with a metal. So let's write that H2SO4 when reacts with zinc, it is definitely going to produce ZnSO4 plus H2. So we know that H2 is going to be produced, right? That is the hydrogen gas will be produced. Okay, hydrogen gas. Okay. Now if hydrogen gas is produced, the next question is, see, they have said illustrate with help of example. So you'll be giving this example, that is H2SO4 reacting with zinc. Okay. Then how will you test the evolution of this gas? So whenever there is evolution of hydrogen gas, you just need to say the reacting vessel, say test tube, will be giving out hydrogen gas, right, or whatever gas. Okay. So to the just bring a burning matchstick near the mouth of this test tube. You'll find that this gas will burn with a popping sound. Okay, and that indicates that this is nothing but hydrogen gas. I guess it is clear to you guys, right? So this is how you are supposed to write. Okay, so moving to the next one, that is the fourth question. Okay, so question number 4 says write a chemical equation to describe how baking soda is produced on a large scale. Also write chemical name of the products obtained. Okay, so whenever you say baking soda, you just need to do the first step of the solver process, that is NaCl. NaCl, which is mixed with water, is known as brine. Okay, you'll be writing that brine is bubbled with ammonia. So now this is known as ammoniacal brine, and this mixture is known as ammoniacal brine. Okay. Then when you pass carbon dioxide through it, it is going to give you your baking soda plus your NH4 NH4Cl. So now this baking soda ka chemical name we want. So what is the chemical name of this? Sodium hydrogen carbonate. Okay. What about ammonium? What about this? This is ammonium chloride. So basically, while taking down any question, you just need to remember one thing. Okay, first understand what the question is asking. That is the demand of the question. Okay, as per the marks given in this, there will be at least 2 marks, because they are not only asking the reaction but also the names of the product formed. So this will come for 2 marks. Okay. So as I have already said, this is not a lengthy but a differentiated paper which is given by your CBSE. So you'll get a very differentiated, or the question will always be there in the point format or the parts format. So you have to understand simple thing. Whatever question you are attempting, just divide the marks. As I said, if it is for 2 marks, this is also always going to be two for 2 marks, because the first question contains, that is the writing of the reaction, contains 1 mark, whereas the names will contain 1 mark, right? So that is why you have to remember that you differentiate the marks when you see the question. Okay, understand it, differentiate the marks, and then accordingly write the answer. So I think you are very thorough with the questions which I have done now. So with this, I hope you'll ask good questions to me. Okay, all the doubts to me. I'm ready to solve your doubts. So I request you to please do that for me. If you have doubts, पूछ ले. With this.